You may have noticed there's been a lot of violence lately, a lot of hatred, a lot of people showing full display of the most despicable, most vicious parts of themselves. I'm referring, of course, to the recent events following the October 7th massacre in Israel and the now 6-month war in Gaza. I have an important message that was inspired by Ollie Anisfeld of JTV. So I really thank you. I'm grateful to you, Ollie, and all the important work you're doing. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of a platform, but I care, and I just want to spend a moment and give a word of encouragement to all of my fellow Jews out there, especially those who are living in the United States in what we call a diaspora. I was born in New York in the early 90s, and when I was 3, a few months after my younger sister was born, our parents moved us out from New York City to Los Angeles, and I grew up in the suburbs of LA for up until college, then moved back, continued to live there up until I moved to Colorado about 2.5 years ago. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I still feel a connection to Israel. I can't explain how I felt this way before I ever traveled there. I guess it's probably because I went to Hebrew school twice a week for at least a decade and got to learn Hebrew and got to learn a little bit about Israeli history, although I'm not gonna lie, of course, we were given the Disneyland version that, Israel can do no wrong version of history, which of course isn't true. And then I grew up and, I did the birthright trip. I went back to Israel because I loved it so much. And I think I speak for a lot of people, Jews and Christians or Buddhists or Muslims or anybody, when I say there is something that is beyond words, I think, when you go to such a historic place. I felt this way when I was in Rome, Italy, because I love history, and so seeing the Colosseum up close and getting to tour the inside, having the knowledge that this place was used as a battleground for gladiator fights, centuries ago. It's like, that's something profound. I think that it really goes beyond words, that you can experience what happened thousands of years ago still today. I mean, I'm not saying we're hosting gladiator fights anytime soon, although I wouldn't be too surprised given the state of affairs of the world. But what I am saying is we're almost in a time machine when you think about how real history still is today. And that's really important. And I want to note too that before I go, there's this misconception that Israel has held the Muslim world, or sort of like the Muslim population of Arab Palestinians, hostage within Jerusalem and prevented them from praying at the mosque over the period of Ramadan, which is still in effect. I think we're halfway through Ramadan now. It's total fabrication. Over 80,000 Muslims came to pray, mostly peacefully, with high alert of security, of course, given the war. But they prayed. There were, a few troublemakers here or there, but for the most part, it went okay. And so remember that, and also the fact that if Jews even try to pray at the Temple Mount peacefully or, aggressively, of course, forget it, And the idea that it's like the Israeli mission to take over the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and then build a new temple over it and so forth. Well, first of all, if they are going to build a temple, it's going to take a long time. Second of all, until the Muslim world gets its crap together, it would be World War III. The moment Jews say, we're building the new temple, forget it. It's like the next Crusades. We're back in time 1,000 years. So I really hope that we learn something from this devastating, dark period, And I hope we come out at the end of the tunnel feeling rejuvenated, feeling some sort of clarity, which is so difficult these days given all the noise in the media. But what I recommend to you is don't lose hope or faith, and don't forget who you are, and be the individual you are while not compromising your ties to your people. And for me, that's identifying as a Jew because that's my ancestry. So thank you, and God bless.